from Palma. We've just finished our session today on ATOL Reform. We've had a great session here at the ABTA Travel Convention in Palma, sponsored by First Data Merchant Services, one of our travel industry partners. We had a really strong panel on stage, headed up by David Mosley, the Deputy Director of Consumer Protection at the CAA, one of our members, Steve Endicott from Travel 118, our very own Luke Pollard, Head of Public Affairs, and Simon Bunce, our Head of Legal, together with Tony Mooney from First Data. Excellent panel, and we were able to deal with many of our members' questions on ATOL Reform. So what were the key issues that came through? I think first and foremost was the question of actually just the practical timescales. The government is still saying that they want to bring in these reforms by January 1st, and frankly we don't think that's practical or indeed sensible. It's more important to get this right than to rush it in. Consensus throughout the room that January 1st really isn't going to be possible, and we felt just a hint I think from the CAA that their thinking is going along the same lines. So no commitments there, but I think we're hopeful that they're looking at that. A number of other issues addressed. A real concern from travel agent members that the traditional air package holiday already within the ATOL scheme could be brought into the Flight Plus arrangements if the agent simply adds car hire. So you take a traditional package holiday, the agent adds their own car hire, and suddenly you've got a Flight Plus arrangement that will require the agent to hold an ATOL license and take financial responsibility for the failure of either the car hire company or the ATOL holder. That sounds like double cover. A lot of our members very unhappy about that. And again, we're waiting to hear from Department of Transport what that's going to look like. Less of an indication as to how that one is going to play out. A lot of discussion on the impact that this will have with the merchant acquirers, the way they will respond to this. I think the broad indication from First Data is that actually this should be a good thing, that acquirers should regard the expansion of the protection as something that reduces their risk. But the message was also it's just too early to say at this stage, and I think the acquirers are waiting to see how this develops themselves. We moved on to talk about a number of other issues, practicalities, the ATOL certificate, for example. Again, something that I think a lot of people support. They think it's a sensible step, but do we have enough time to put it in place? Agency agreements were discussed. Once again, another thing that people broadly are in agreement on, but if every principal and every agent has to have a new agency agreement in place in a prescribed form, how is that going to get done by January 1st? Just looks impossible. So really practical discussion, high quality panel, fantastic audience participation, good session for ABTA, I think. Thank you very much.